12 of Mini Winterfest. So today I am building a gingerbread house. I know lots of people have done this, and I'll say the same thing that I said at Halloween. Just because loads of people are doing it doesn't mean that you can't too. Everybody has their own take on these things, and it's really fun to see the different ideas that people have and the different designs that people come up with. So here is my kind of interpretation of it. So this one isn't actually a residential house, this one is a retail lot, and I decided to turn this one into a bakery. In my mind, it made the most sense that you go to a gingerbread house and it sells cakes and things. So I have turned it into a bakery. It is still very small. I built it originally as like a tiny house residential lot, and then later changed it to a retail lot just so that I could make sure that it was, under the 100 tiles that I was limiting myself to, and it ends up like 90 something. So definitely on the small side. Most of it actually is made up of roof pieces. So the actual floor plan, or like the tile itself, is very small. So I have included a bathroom, a separate kitchen, even though there is like a kitchen in the main area. So technically there's 2 kitchens in this one. But I thought if you've got, 1 or 2 Sims, they can both bake things at the same time. I've also included the giant cupcake machine, which I was very lucky that it actually fit into the kitchen that I had kind of designated, because I had no idea whether it was even going to fit in there until I put it in there, and it was perfect fit, so I'm very lucky for that because I hadn't originally planned to put it in there until I kind of went to start furnishing. Anyway, I am using the snowball from Seasons, I think, to do most of the decorations on the exterior of the build. These little like snow dune thingies are from Snowy Escape, I think. Some of them I couldn't use because Better Build Buy says they won't upload to the gallery, so I tried to use the ones that didn't say they wouldn't upload, so hopefully they will. But I have put these pretty much everywhere on the outside of the build, and then on like the top floor, if that makes sense, like kind of on the roof. I still wanted it to look like it was covered in snow even when it wasn't actively snowing in the game, so hopefully it does and it doesn't look strange. I did play test it in a couple of different weather conditions just to see kind of what would happen when it was very heavy snow, and they do still show up, so you can still see them, which is great. I spent ages trying to figure out what roof tile I wanted to use, and then realized that once it's covered in snow you can't see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I do really like this one. I like the fact that it's got lots of different like colored tiles. It just looks, I don't know, interesting to me. So I've used the new items that we got today, and I really like them. I really could have done with them when I did my toy shop, was that last week? Because those bows would have been perfect, but never mind. Maybe I'll go in and replace them, I don't know. But I have used them here. I've also used the aprons and the cake, I think it's like fruit cake, and then there's like a cake stand that I've used as well. I didn't use the fireplace pokers because I haven't included a fireplace, and the salt and pepper shakers I didn't include either because they didn't really make sense to have here. But I've used, I think, everything else. They don't really show up as like new items when you come into the game, so it's really difficult to know what items are new and what aren't. But anyway, I tried to figure out some different designs and ended up deciding on hearts. It just seemed like the biggest thing that I could do that would fill up all of the space that I had, and then the rest of it I just kind of did what you can see me doing now. I didn't include all of the footage in this video because I literally spent like 2 hours just placing snowballs. So I've just kind of included little bits and pieces so you can see the different areas that I did include it. I haven't actually decorated the back of the build because this took me long enough and I didn't think anyone was going to be looking at the back, and I then at the end like cover it over with trees anyway, so you can't really see it. Those magic beans on the top floor I have sized up. They are from Jungle Adventure, I think, and I thought they looked really nice as like, I don't know, sweet kind of decorations. And they kind of remind me of a food that I used to eat in the UK when I was a kid. I don't know if they still make them anymore. I think they were called ice gems, and they were like a little icing kind of drop, the same sort of shape as the beans, and then they were on like a tiny little biscuit. And they were really lovely just to have in like a lunchbox as a kid, so that's kind of what they reminded me of. Anyway, you can see that I did lots of this everywhere and then a little bit later on I go back in with smaller snowballs and kind of add a little bit more decoration. But for now I am adding these snow drifts to the roof. Like I said, I wanted it to look like it was covered in snow, or icing was probably more appropriate. Covered in icing even when it wasn't snowing, so that it just looked a little bit more real and like it was actually a gingerbread house, because I don't think I've ever actually made a gingerbread house myself, but I've seen quite a lot of other people make them, and most of them tend to be covered in like powdered sugar, so that's the idea that I had with this one. I later changed these roof decorations on the ends out to the penguin. I thought it was just a lot cuter than these stick things. I don't know, they just looked a little bit too big to me and didn't really have the look that I was going for. I probably could have sized them down, but then they just didn't look right, so I end up just using the penguin instead, and I think it looks a lot better. So my original idea with this giant ice cream was for it to be a chimney, but I have included, I think it's a firework, I'm not actually sure what it is. The ones that I've used as like posts or columns near the front door, I've used over the other side of the build as like a chimney too, but I just think it looks nice with a giant ice cream sticking out the top, so I've just left it there. These are holiday crackers that I have used to line the A-frame part of the build. I've done it on both sides. I didn't include in the video both sides because it literally took me ages. And these are cupcakes, sized up twice I think, and then I've put them pretty much everywhere. Same as these are tiny little snowballs. And thankfully when you try and place them up against a wall, they just slide up and down. I think it's the roof pieces, they slide up and down the roof pieces really nicely, and if you're trying to put them up against a wall, they do kind of like clip into the wall a little bit, so it makes it really easy to place them because they just kind of automatically snap to the wall. The same with these cupcakes, they just kind of automatically snapped to the wall. The little red dots that I've put in the hearts are water balloons. They did exactly the same thing that the snowballs did, they just kind of snapped straight to the wall, so it was really easy to place those. And to be honest, I was like constantly looking for different things. I think I spent an hour before I started building trying to find different items that I could use, the different food things from the game that I could use that actually would save to the gallery, and the ones that I've used are the only ones that I could find, so I've probably missed some somewhere, but I'm pretty pleased with how it looks. So we just move the lot back and then pretty much go onto the inside, I think. So I do the bathroom first. To be honest, the floor plan doesn't really work very well. I probably should have moved this bathroom forward by like a tile, but I quite liked the symmetrical look that it had with the roofing. Not that anyone's going to be looking at the side anyway, but you know. And I thought I should probably include a bathroom in this one, even if it is just for the Sims that are running this business. And the last thing you need is accidents to happen when you are working. So I have tried to make it look just comfortable, and there isn't like a bath or a shower, it's literally just a toilet, but I thought it was important to include one anyway. I end up going with the blue tile of this one because I used this rug in the snowflake swatch and I liked it, so I thought it should be blue. I originally was going to go with that like dark pink one just because that's my go-to tile usually for bathrooms, but you know, I really like the blue in there. It's just, I don't think I've put any like Winterfest decorations in there, but I still think it looks really nice. So in here is what I imagined to be the main kitchen area. So as you can see, that giant cupcake machine fits perfectly in that corner. I hadn't planned it like that. I was just lucky that it happened. So I found that the Dream Home Decorator top cabinets go really well with these cool kitchen counters. They're not meant to go together, but I think color wise, I think the swatches match really well. This is the only room that I've actually added curtains or blinds. I don't really think it needs it, but I thought, you know, I'd just include them anyway because I don't know, I get into the habit of always putting blinds or curtains over my windows even when it's not really necessary. So maybe it was just force of habit that I did that and then thought, oh, I don't need them anywhere else, so I didn't include them anywhere else. But as you can see, there is a very tight squeeze going between the like checkout counter thing and the door to the bathroom, so it probably would have been better to have that door a little bit further nearer the front of the build so that they didn't have to like almost walk behind the counter to get there, but it's fine, it doesn't matter. I was going to include another oven out here, but I thought it's probably better that you just have the one. I was thinking more on like a realistic point than the Sims point, in that if you go into a bakery, usually you can see the decoration sides of things behind the counter, but not so much the baking part. And the last thing you want if you're baking and you accidentally burn them for everyone to see. So I thought I would leave the baking part in the actual kitchen area, and then the decoration part can be wherever, whether it's in the kitchen or out on the counters out here. So I did put a couple of Winterfest decorations in here. Mostly it was just to kind of cover up the wall space because it looked really like blank. I could have just changed the wallpaper, but where I have used platforms in this, it cuts off the bottom part of the wallpaper, and I don't know, that really bothers me. So I thought I would just leave it as it was and just put these garlands up there. I end up putting a table, I think it's a Blooming Rooms table near the front door, and there is the fruitcake that we got today, and I think I put like a drinks tray from Eco Lifestyle. My idea was that maybe it's like a free sample or something. When they come in, they can have like a little taste of the different cakes and things, and especially fruitcake. I thought like traditionally Christmas time is usually fruitcake, so I thought it was, you know, a good idea. I have downloaded a room from the gallery that had pre-baked cakes and things, so I have filled up the counters with that, which I thought was a really good idea. I honestly don't have the time for my sim to just go in and make cakes for like an entire day, so I thought it was good. And you know, people have uploaded quite a lot of different baked things, like lots of different food, so especially if you've got like a wedding or a Sims party or something that you need lots of food for, then definitely look on the gallery before trying to make it all yourself, because it probably save you a lot of time. Anyway, the last thing that I do is add a couple of paving stones, and then I move on to the landscaping, which to be honest, all I do is add trees. I didn't really see the point in doing any other kind of landscaping because I thought it would all be covered in snow. So that is pretty much it for today's build. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. It will be on the gallery as usual, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye everyone.
Tell me you love me, tell me it's true. I'm writing a love song from me to you. Tell me you got me, I'll tell you too. We're writing a love song, it's deja vu. Won't you tell me what you're waiting for? See those mansion type people, they won't give you any back. Tell you what I'm waiting for. Got that fashion for me, girl, can't say I don't fight with that. La da 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 da, you never know where you can find love, where you can find love. La da 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 da, you drop it low. Damn, girl, you got some more than enough. Tell me you love me, tell me it's true. I'm writing a love song from me to you.